back of that group. He's right in the smack in the middle. Him next to Veskerna. I think he's probably dealing with concussion. We could use him if they play Lincoln again to cover their best receiver.
Whenever you guys unmute, you are live. So
All
we're
right.
live on YouTube right now.
Awesome.
Test, test, test. And welcome to this Thursday evening, folks, as we are live here in Brandon, South Dakota for the 11 AAA matchup between your Brandon Valley Lynx and the Roosevelt Rough Riders from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We walk into tonight the quarterfinals of 11 AAA. And we want to welcome you on Channel 226 on Alliance Communications and YouTube around the world. Welcome to this telecast on Lynx TV. I am Ken McEwen. I will be bringing you your play-by-play this evening. Alongside me is Bob Arnold. He will be bringing you your color this evening. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Bob.
It is great to be back, Ken. What a wonderful night for football. It's in probably the mid-50s here in Brandon. Just a slight wind as I look across the field and see the flag blowing just a little bit, but no chance of rain. We can see the moon out. It's going to be a great night for football.
Absolutely. Your Lynx coming into this ball game ranked number 1 in the playoffs, all right? And the Rough Riders are in the 8th seed. They're ranked number 8 in the seedings, okay? That goes all out the door. Is everybody, it's a new season. We talked about that last week, Bob. Lynx 8-1 on the regular season. The Rough Riders 1-8. Lynx coming off a loss. Their only loss of the season in the regular season, 24-21. Versus Sioux Falls Jefferson, and the Rough Riders from Roosevelt. They had a loss also on October 3rd and that was to O'Gorman, 42-9.
Okay, so I got to do. I typed it in wrong, but that was just this last week. So it was on the 23rd. I missed a 2 in our sheet, Ken. So I don't want people to think you don't know what you're talking about.
Boy.
So that was just last Thursday evening when they played.
Yeah, a week ago.
So that was all me, Ken.
No, that's fine. So what? Bob does a tremendous job. He gives all the information, and really all I have to do, folks, is read it and be able to move my mouth and be able to see what's going on the field. So tonight, Bob, talk about. We know the Lynx, what they bring to the table, right? They're the number one seed in 11 AAA. They run the ball well. They play off the play action and the passing game defensively. They really do a great job. Only allowing 12 points per game and averaging on offense 40 points per game. Give us a couple keys.
Well, their bread and butter is their running game. They're averaging a little over 200, almost 225 yards a game between Levi Veskrina and Mr. Ryder Mueller. They pass when they need to, which is roughly about 110 yards a game. So when they need it, they got it there. They've got some good receivers out there in Maddox Mueller and Jake Blumgren. That are averaging Maddox Mueller 250 yards this year, 15 catches, and Jack Blumgren 388 yards and 6 touchdowns and 25 catches. So that's kind of their bread and butter. They use the run game to set up the pass, but I still think the key that makes their team go is their defense.
Absolutely, I agree. And what we always talk about football-wise is you always look at this, right, as we continue defensively. You talked about that, what wins championships, right? Really, to be honest with you, it's running the football, okay, especially in high school, and playing great defense. Everything up front, and that's a big deal. And they're introducing the actual the defensive starters right now for the Lynx. As Bob just said, defensively, this is what leads the team. When you're only giving up 12 points per game, that's pretty good. That's less than 2 touchdowns a game, right? And so you talked about the offensive, leaders, right? As we talked about, but the defensive leaders, in tackles, Chase Leary's got 40 tackles and 4 sacks, 4 tackles for a loss. Nolan Pudwell, he won't be playing this evening. He'll be sitting out again. Number 17, the corner. Now think about this. He's a corner. He's second in tackles for the team. He's at 33 tackles on the year. Brighton Stroh has got 40 tackles also, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss. But let's flip the coin a little bit, and let's look at Roosevelt's defense, because they got to stop our offense, right, in this playoff matchup. We know they run like a 3-3-5, right? Well, that changes when you got a strong running team that plays a 2 tight end set, only 2 wide receivers, right? You got a fullback in the backfield, along with that's going to be number 7, Veld, along with Veskernon, number 31 in the backfield, and you got a strong offensive line. You can't really play a 3-3-5.
But no, because you almost have to take a couple of those defensive backs or safeties and put them tight into the box, because unlike a lot of teams, Ken, which you don't see a lot, the Lynx just love to run between the left tackle and the right tackle. They don't do a lot of jet sweeps. They don't run to the outside a little bit. They just basically set up and run between the tackles, use excellent blocking technique, use some pulling of the guards to fill the holes, and let the running backs kind of pick and choose between the tackles where they're going to go. So it's, what's coming. It's just, can you stop it?
And here is your national anthem.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you, and our national anthem back at it. Thursday evening, late October, tomorrow's Halloween, so we are at October 30th, and we have the upper hand in what we call, Bob, this cold weather, right? And what I mean by that is that when you look at cold weather and you look at one thing the Lynx really do well, right, is run the ball. Well, it's really hard to tackle in this type of weather. Everything becomes really hard, right? And so we want to make sure that defensively, and we saw a little bit of it last week, we had some missed tackles on defense, and hats off to Jefferson last week, that they were able to really hone in on their run game and kind of expose our defense a little bit, and we got to really come back to playing Lynx football.
I would think that for what we saw last week, there will be a heavy emphasis on not getting the false starts, not getting the offsides, and making the other team just beat you playing the football. Because I don't know how many penalties they had last week. I did not get a chance to look those up, but it had to have been 10 or 12 offsides or false starts playing the game. And we cannot see that tonight if they want to have a victory on the scoreboard when we leave.
We'll go over your Lynx TV sponsors in just a moment, as the Lynx, it looks like they are going to, let's take a look at this. They are actually going to return, or actually, no, they will be kicking off, I believe, as the Lynx, you can see that are all in red with the shade of black with the helmet, and the numbers, a little bit of white in there also. Roosevelt, the Rough Riders, they're in all white with some maroon reddish. As the Rough Riders walk into this 1-8, your Lynx 8-1. They are the 1 seed in this 11 AAA matchup versus the Rough Riders that are the 8 seed. And I was mistaken. Actually, the Rough Riders will be kicking to start this one back deep. You can see on the right of your screen as the screen kind of widens out for you, we have a little shade of sun, all right, that kind of shades you a little bit on your screen. So as the night climbs here and we get a little bit darker, you'll be able to see that a little bit better. But both Maddox and Ryder Mueller, respectively, are back deep for your Lynx. And we are underway. It's a pooch kick out to about the 25. Lynx are on it. We'll see here. There's a scramble, as that was intentional, I believe, by the kicker for the Rough Riders is Meckelberg, the kicker.
So it looks like jumping on the ball for the Lynx is Cooper Veld. That was quite a, I believe, a planned play where you don't want to kick it to the two speedsters in the back. They were kicking it to the up people, and they almost got a turnover there, Ken. That would have been big right out of the gate.
Lynx starting on offense. They have actually 3 tight ends set right now, as you can see, heavy formation as Veskerna is going to take it. He breaks a tackle. He is stopped with about a 2-yard gain up to the 29-yard line. It's going to be second down and about 8, maybe 7 here. We'll see where they mark it. They did mark it at the 29. So it's going to be second down and 7 from the 29. Lynx coming out with Blomgren. You can see on the bottom of your screen, he's number 11, the lone wide receiver, as Veskerna is directly behind your quarterback, number 9, Van Leer. And that's Veskerna with his second carry. It's going to be a gain of 0. Great play by number 3 for the Rough Riders.
Tucker DeHaan.
Tucker DeHaan. He'll also be playing some wide receiver this evening for the Rough Riders.
They do have a few players that play both ways, Ken. I think they're a little bit banged up this late in the season, so they got some players that are going to have to do double duty.
As passing situation, 3rd and 7 for your Lynx. Vestergana's right to the right of Van Leeuwen. They do go to Mueller. That's going to be Ryder Mueller with the catch. First down, moving the chains. As you can see, the side judge on the top of your screen moving those chains. That's a gain of roughly about 9 yards. Lynx first down of this one.
You know, that's already a change from how they worked things last weekend. We did not see that pass and that pattern all game last week. Not one time.
Lynx now is changing up their offense, and that's correct, Bob. You've seen that as a slot receiver. That was Mueller with the catch. Veskerna, they try to open it up a little bit, and that's going to be Veskerna with his 3rd carry. He moves the pile along with his offensive line. That's going to be a gain of about 3 again. On that first down, it's going to be 2nd down and 7 from right at the 40. What they're doing is a little bit of change here, too. Now you have 3 wide receivers. We talked about that in the pregame, Bob. You talked about how the Lynx go with Irie and Dow, respectively, at the tight end position. Now they're trying to spread it out a little bit, trying to get these defenses to not collapse a box so much, bring everybody into the box.
So they got 6 in the box right now.
That's going to be Veskerna. There's an opening there. He gets it all the way to about the 46. It's going to bring up the 3rd down of this series, 3rd down of this 11 AAA playoff matchup here in Brandon, South Dakota. So 3rd down and 2 from the 46.
Yeah, that was a good solid play. They only had 6 people in the box. They had 5 blockers there, plus your fullback coming in, so that was a good head-to-head deal. Picked up some positive yard. Let's see if we can get a first down right here.
Back to a 3 tight end set. Actually, it's 2 tight end with Veld, also the fullback in the backfield. And that's going to be Van Leeuwen. He's going to roll to the left, and that's a tough pass by Van Leeuwen. He is 2 for 2 on this one as he connects with Blomgren. Blomgren with his first catch. More importantly, they cross the 50, and that moves the chains. And first down for your Lynx from the 42.
You know, I like the fact that they're rolling the quarterback out of the pocket, kind of getting him away for some pressure. But more importantly, Blomgren had the outside cornerback one-on-one, and he made a good move and came back and got that ball for a first down.
Veld, Veskerna in the backfield with Van Leeuwen. There's Blomgren on the end around. He's got an opening, and he is loose. Crossing the 20, 10, touchdown, Lynx. First touchdown of this playoff season for the Lynx. Lynx up 6-0.
The one thing that stuck out at me on that one, Ken, is they got the defense moving towards us in the press box. And when the Blomgren went the opposite direction on the go, the receivers were there blocking the outside contain, and there was nobody between him and the end zone.
Beautiful play call, beautiful play by the Lynx. They had the defense going one way. Veskerna hands it off to Blomgren on the end around, and he's seen daylight for 42 yards. Mitzel strode it to hold. That one's good. 7-0 Lynx.
That was just a good set of execution. They run the ball. They made him respect the run. They got an over and aggressive defense that was flowing to the near side of the field and took advantage of that with their fast receiver going the other direction. Touchdown Lynx.
Let's talk about our Lynx TV sponsors, Bob, while we have a moment in the break of action. Lynx up 7-0.
All right, our All-American sponsors are Alliance Communications, Aspen Ridge, Coca-Cola Bottling, Chesterman Company, Midco Communications, Sanford Health, and Sioux Valley Energy. Our MVP sponsors are First Dakota National Bank, Rogers Plumbing and Heating, Sanford Health in Brandon, and Sanford Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. And our champion sponsors are Alliance Communications, American Family Insurance, Josh Koob Agency, Arrowhead Automotive, Axiom Construction Group, Brandon Ace Hardware, Brandon Lumber Company, Burren Gruning Heating and Air Conditioning, Heartland Funeral Home, Horizon Pet Care, Quick Star, Northwest Tire, Sioux Falls Specialty Hospital, Sunshine Foods, and today's Family Dentistry. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Now let's kick off this ball.
Mitzel kicking to the intended Kick returner is Hansen. That goes into the end zone. He lets it go back. That's going to be a touchback. He'll start the Rough Riders' first possession on offense directly at the 20. Bob, we talked about the Lynx defense, right? Big turnovers last week, and we seen that they all year long the Lynx defense has created turnovers. But the biggest thing tonight, and we talked about in the pregame, is sure tackling, right? You cannot let openings happen out of that backfield. This is going to be Workmeister. He's number 9. He's the quarterback. He's got number 44 in the backfield with him. And that's going to be Workmeister with the quarterback keeper. As O'Brien, his kind of hybrid tight end, was in the backfield with him. It's going to be a gain of about 5, 2nd and 5 from the 26.
Yeah, I think the Roosevelt saw that. If they watched any tape from last week's game, Jefferson's quarterback was very successful on that same type of run. So we're going to have to make sure our outside linebackers are helping stop the contain.
Workmeister.
Outside, sorry.
He's got number 18. That's going to be Winter. He's got the carry, and he's going to lose a yard as it may be right at the line of scrimmage. We'll see where they mark it. It's going to be right at the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 3rd down and 4 from the 26.
They were generous on that spot and allowed them to get to the line of scrimmage.
As Workmeister's going to look to his sideline for the play call. He's got O'Brien along with Winter right directly behind him. They give it to Winter. He breaks a tackle, gain of about maybe 1. They're going to say 1 yard. It's going to bring up the first 4th down of this ball game.
Yeah, I would think that they're probably at this stage of the game, this early, that they're going to want to bring in the punter and make Brandon go a little further than risking a 4th down try here. Looks like the punter is number 88, Jaden Hansen.
Hansen on to kick for the Rough Riders as it's going to be Maddox Mueller at about the 37-yard line. Left-footed kicker. Mueller takes it at the 45, crosses the 50. He breaks a tackle. He's going up to the 35, 34, 33-yard line. That's where he is dropped down by a Rough Rider. Great field position on that return by Maddox Mueller.
He just kind of weaved his way right up the gut of that defense and got some very positive yards after he took that punt.
1st down and 10 for the Lynx, as you can see, are all in red. If you're just tuning in right now, Lynx up 7-0 off the Blomgren end around. Touchdown from 42 yards out. 2nd series for the Lynx. Give it to Veshkerna. There's nobody there, and he's loose. 10 touchdown.
Wow, I don't know that he was touched all the way through that.
Veshkerna with the touchdown. We didn't see that last week. He goes into the end zone for his 26th touchdown of the season, first of the playoffs. Lynx up 13-0.
I think after last week's game, I think the offensive line has got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder after the performance last week. So that's good to see coming out of the gate.
6:16 to go, first quarter. Lynx 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. Mitzel on to kick his second extra point try. Stroh to hold. Mitzel up, and it is good. 14-0. And this 11 AAA matchup in the quarterfinals in Brandon, South Dakota. Your Lynx ahead, 14-0.
Yeah, that was a good set of plays there. Very well executed, and they're just taking care of business, very business-like fashion. So a couple of scores, Ken, with 9 minutes to go in the 4th out at Howard Wood Field. Sioux Falls Lincoln is up over Rapid City Central, 53-21. And over at McEnany Field, Harrisburg is up over O'Gorman 3-0 with about 11 minutes to go. So very early in that game, but they're up by a field goal.
Scores around the AAA this evening, and like we talked about, the quarterfinals starting this evening at 11 AAA. It's a Thursday evening. Now, as we'll march on to, we won't talk about next week yet. We'll talk about that maybe in the fourth quarter. What do you think, Bob?
Well, maybe when the game is maybe when the game is done.
Okay.
We'll talk about that.
All right. I'm just getting Bob's permission, everyone. I mean, you got to have permission, right?
Well, he just is trying to avoid some grief from Bob. That's all he's doing.
Back deep for the Rough Riders. That's going to be number 5. That's going to be Breidenberg. And number 88 is going to be Winter. He takes it off the Mitzel kickoff. He crosses the 16, and he is dropped there. That's great coverage by the kickoff team for the Lynx. The Rough Riders from Roosevelt in Sioux Falls coming out for their second possession of this first quarter, 14-0.
Yeah, we'll see kind of what the offensive does here. Right now, the defense is. I like their aggressiveness that they're playing. They're not over pursuing, and they're getting some pressure on the quarterback.
Workmeister, Winter's with him. Gives it to Winter. His third carry of this one, he's going to gain 2. It's going to bring up a second down and 8 from right at the 20-yard line. Lynx defense has been all over the field looking for the run, right? But also we know that the Rough Riders can put the ball in the air as their receivers, number 12, you can see at the bottom of your screen, is Ryricto. And also at the top is going to be number 3 is going to be DeHannon. They give it to the running back again. That's number 18, Winter. He gains 1 yard. Lynx are all over it defensively. It's going to bring up a third down and about 5 from the 22.
So just so that we know, so that we don't get any calls or any messages, number 12's last name is Rakito.
Rakito. All right. Let's put a K in there.
So that's a
Workmeister. We got a flag.
Way tackle back.
As on the sack, on that one's going to be number 0 for your Lynx. And that's going to be Fulkin. As Miles Fulkin is right there with the sack. Decline, sack is good.
And more importantly, they lose that down, so they don't get to repeat third down. So I believe it's going to be fourth down.
Fourth down and
about 13.
About 13 from the 14. And it looks like Hanson's going to be back to kick for the Rough Riders. Right at about the 47, you can see right in the middle of your screen is going to be Mueller. Mueller takes it, cuts to the outside. He's going to be dropped right at about the 35. They'll say forward progression, so it's going to be right at the 35, about the same place from the last punt, special teams-wise, and the Lynx starting with great field possession again.
Yeah, we got to like it. The defense is doing their job. They're getting the ball back for the offense. I would say right now, with just under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter, the offense is doing their job by getting a couple of touchdowns on the board. Now we'll see what kind of a play call we got for the offensive coordinator, Mr. Zur, I believe.
Van Leeuwen, your quarterback. Play action. He goes up top. It is almost intercepted by number 7, the corner for the Rough Riders, Smith, and that is Van Leeuwen's first completion of that one. He is 2 for 3 this evening. It's going to bring up a second down and 10 from the 35.
You know, I would like to see him on those plays for the receiver to make their cuts a little sharper and get that inside position before they cut loose on Mr. Van Leeuwen.
Beskerna, he is met in the backfield. It's going to be no gain, as number 44 is right there.
Turner
O'Brien. We've seen him on offense already. He already has a carry from that tight end kind of. They put him in the backfield initially, and that's going to bring up a third down and 10 for your Lynx. We are under 4:15 to go, first quarter. Lynx 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. Blomgren on the first one with the end around, and Veshkerna all from that offensive line. He wasn't touched. Touchdown. Third down. Play action. They go to Veld, the fullback. He's going to gain a first down and more. He crosses the 20, goes into the red zone. First down. He's dropped at about the 17. Lynx moving the chains.
They did an excellent job of kind of clogging up the linebacker there and just kind of slipped Veld out of the backfield. We saw that quite a few times last year, and we've seen it a couple of times this year, and every time that they've tried it, it's been a nice long gain for the Lynx.
First down and 10 from the 17. Lynx going right into the red zone. Their first trip inside the red zone, as both touchdowns have been over 30 yards, the two first possessions. That's going to be Irie moving from left to right. Quarterback keeper, it was actually an option. Van Leeuwen picks up a first down and more. He's going to go right down to about the 5, moving the chains, first and goal from the 5.
Yeah, he made that person that had the responsibility for outside contain. Are you going to take the running back on the pitch? And he took that one step to the outside to kind of cut off the running back and just opened up a nice lane for Mr. Van Leeuwen.
Yeah, that defensive end went right to the running back, and great vision from Van Leeuwen. Anytime that defensive end's going to go after the running back and the option, you got to keep it. Veshkerna, direct snap, touchdown. He is not touched. His second one of this first quarter. Lynx up 20-0.
Yeah, he just kind of weaved in through the middle of the line, and I don't think he was touched, but I think that puts him at 27 touchdowns for the year. 27 touchdowns already for Veshkerna, and he's not done. That's my guess. 20-0. Mitzel on to kick his third extra point attempt in this first quarter. Stroh kneeling down to hold right at the 10. Mitzel, line drive. I think it went through. It is good. Just high enough to.
Yeah,
I guess you don't have to get prettiness points. It's just got to go between the two side ones and above the bar.
That might have went through, even hitting the crossbar, Bob. It might have went through anyways because it was a line drive and there's some heat on that one.
Just straight on through.
Right. Lynx up 21-0 in this 11 AAA quarterfinal matchup here in Brandon, South Dakota. Lynx all over Rough Riders from Sioux Falls this evening. Early in this one, Bob, it's been a host of, the Lynx have stayed true to running the ball, right? But hats off to that offensive line. Veshkerna on the last 2 touchdowns, he hasn't been touched.
No.
I mean,
he just kind of weaves through what they give him, and they've been doing a great job of not only the line of scrimmage blocking, but on that second tier of blocking to kind of seal off the linebackers to open up that hole.
And you've seen, even with Blomgren on that end around from 42 yards out, he wasn't touched either.
No, they're doing a great job of sealing off the defenders to open up those lanes.
Mitzel with his third kickoff of this first quarter, and it is off. And the Rough Riders are going to let it go into the
red. That just barely went into the end zone. If that checks up there at the 1 yard line, that's a live ball.
And so that will put the Rough Riders right at the 20, touchback, and this will be their 4th possession of this first quarter. Lynx defense is playing tremendous. I know we talk about the offense a lot because they're putting up points, right? They put up 40 points per game, so you talk about them a lot. But the defense is where this team is built, I believe, and up front, the defensive line and offensive line have been tremendous all year. Lynx defense in that 3-3-5. Workmeister gives it to O'Brien, I believe. for his second carry of this one. And he's going to be stopped for maybe a half yard. We won't even call it a half yard. It's going to be no gain. 2nd and 10 from the 20. We're under 3 minutes. The Rough Riders trying to spread it out here with 2 receivers to Workmeister's right. He's got his running back also with him, and that's going to be the new running back into this ball game. It's going to be number 34 for the Rough Riders, and we'll get a name on that in just a moment. There is a tip pass, and it is knocked down by number 42, Zocker, from that defensive end possession.
You know, they kind of teach on the defensive line stuff here at Brandon. If you're not going to get to the quarterback, get the hands up and try to put things into the passing lane, and that's exactly what he did there to knock down that pass.
Knight is number 34. He's your running back for the Rough Riders. Workmeister, 3rd and 10. Drops back. Looking for his intended receiver. It is picked off by Stroh. He is going to take it in the end zone. Touchdown. Lynx up. 27-0 as Stroh was right there kind of in a zone. Read it perfectly. Errant pass. Capitalizes on it. First turnover of the ball game, and it's a score.
Yeah, he definitely broke on the ball, and he could see, he was watching it, watching the kind of the quarterback's eyes the full way, and there was only one receiver on this side, and what made that play, Stroh got the touchdown, but it was the pressure off of the left side defensive end that forced the quarterback to, I think, throw that a little before he really wanted to.
Mitzel on to kick the extra point. And Stroh to hold. It is good. Lynx up 28-0, and still in this first quarter of this 11 AAA matchup in the quarterfinals in the state of South Dakota.
Yeah, that's it. It's been all Brandon at this point in time, but we do play 4 quarters, and we just need to be able to carry the momentum and see where it takes us.
And we talked about, Bob, I'm going to keep on alluding to it, right? Defense.
Yep.
Boy, I mean, I don't know what the Rough Riders have for offense right now. And what I mean by that for yards, right, is it's got to be close to negative yards. And really what you've seen is the Lynx we talked about last week, right? We talked about there were some missed tackles, and we talked about how Jefferson, they have a good team, right? They're good. Yep. But the Lynx just, they weren't tackling well. Well, it all starts with tackling, right? And the coaches are going to put you in a position to play ball, right? And they're going to call the plays, and you got to execute, right? But you also got to tackle, right? That's the name of the game. I mean, you can't. It's not touch out here.
No.
And there's a kick by Mitzel. That's going to be Hansen. He takes it about the 10, and he breaks a tackle, brings it up to the 25, and that's going to be the best field position so far for the Rough Riders in this first quarter.
Yeah, that was a nice return for them. Got them to where they're not really in a hole. They get out to the 26-yard line or so, 25-yard line, and it'll be interesting to see what the coaching staff for Roosevelt, what they kind of dial up after the last couple of series. Things don't seem to be working. They seem to be getting pressure on the quarterback, so to see what they do on the blocking schemes to slow down the Lynx.
1st and 10 from the 25. They do give it to their running back. That's going to be Knight. He with the carry. He's going to gain about 1, maybe 2 yards. They're going to call it 2 yards, up to about the 27-ish, maybe 28. They're going to mark it at the 28, so it's a 3-yard gain. 2nd and 7 from there, and 3 receivers to Workmeister's right. It kind of forces their hand, right? They got to be one-dimensional kind of now. You can't continue to, when you're down 4 scores, it's going to be hard to continue to run the ball, and that's what they do here. And their running back is going to be stopped.
Might have lost a yard.
That's going to be number 28. for the Rough Riders, and that's going to be Colapray, the sophomore running back for the Rough Riders. Now, Workmeister's got 2 receivers to his right. It is 3rd down and about 8. As Bob said, that was a loss of a yard. It was. Lynx faithful coming to their feet here in the crowd. Motioning. It's going to be Hansen, and he goes nowhere. It's going to be a loss of 2. 4th down and 10 from the 20.
What a great play by the left defensive end. Got upfield, didn't allow that guy that's coming back against the grain to get to the outside, forced him to the inside where he had some help. That was all made by the left defensive end.
As it's going to be Maddox Mueller deep at about the 40. You can see right at the edge of your screen, and that's going to be Hansen on to kick. It is a booming kick, but it doesn't go very far, only about 20 yards. Lynx with great field position again. They're going to start from their own 39.
So now the Lynx will come out here and see if they can just run some and execute some of their basic plays. All the stuff that they're doing. Do you remember last week, Ken, first play out of the gate, it was a bomb down the far side hash. Happened to be a touchdown because the receiver played a great play. Today, the play calling, much more other than maybe the high pass from Missouri that almost got intercepted. Everything else has been a safe play, almost like a run play, except it happened to come out of the hands of the quarterback. But that's a little bit different play calling that they're doing tonight than they did last week or the previous games prior to that.
Veshkerna with the carry. He's going to gain about 9 yards. Maybe they call it 8. Yeah, it's going to be a gain of 9. Brings up a 2nd and 1 from the 29. And that's going to do it for the first quarter of this 11 AAA matchup in the quarterfinals in Brandon, South Dakota. It's been all Lynx. They have, and every possession, have scored on all 4 possessions of the first quarter. That's right. Your score is 28-0 Lynx.
Yep, it's been a good first quarter. We'll see how it goes for this quarter here. We flip the field. I would say that maybe the Lynx are going to get the win this quarter, Ken, but as I look across the field at the flag, it's hugging the flagpole, which means there's absolutely no wind at all. So we'll see what the Lynx do in the second half here.
And one thing about the first quarter, right, Bob, is that, you know, we talked about they were kind of flat last week, right? Just not really running on all cylinders, kind of maybe looking to the next week. You just never know mentality-wise. I absolutely love how they're starting this one out in the playoffs in the first quarter. That's going to be Van Leeuwen. He does give it to his new running back. That's going to be Mueller. Maddox Mueller breaks a tackle. No, it's going to be Ryder Mueller. I apologize. Number 3, as he's going to cross the 10, breaks a host of tackles, and it's going to bring a first down and goal from the 8.
That was just a very powerful run. He picked and chose, and when he got into the open, he still broke 2 or 3 tackles to get down to where he ended up here just inside the 10.
As it's going to be Van Leeuwen. He's got his fullback right to his right, and it's going to be Veshkerna in the ball game now. He's looking for his 3rd touchdown. He carries the pile. Does he find that end zone? He does, and it is a touchdown for Veshkerna, his 3rd of this ball game of the first half. It's 34-0, your Lynx.
So now they got to come out and execute the extra point attempt, but they're just running straight ahead, Ken. They're not doing anything super fancy. They're just running the ball and saying, you know what, here's what we're going to do. If you can beat us, stop us, and then we'll try something else. But why go to anything else when the running game is working so well?
Gave you a little bit of Ryder Mueller on that first carry, and Veshkerna finishes it from 7 out for his 28th touchdown of this season. Mitzel, 5 for 5 from extra point. It is 35-0 with 11:22 to go in this first half. Lynx running on all cylinders.
Yeah, just around the area in the playoffs. Sioux Falls Lincoln with under a minute to go is up over Rapid City Central 60-21, and over to McInerney Field it's Harrisburg 10, O'Gorman 0. And then as soon as the Lincoln Central game goes, the Sioux Falls Jefferson versus Sioux Falls Washington game will kick off out at Howard Wood Field.
So matchups around the 11 AAA, and the Lynx so far taking care of business, and that's what they need to do. They have home field throughout these playoffs, and if they get a chance to go to their second consecutive championship game this year, it's going to run right through here in Brandon, South Dakota.
Yep, they just got to keep winning whatever game it is that we're calling, Ken. That's the game that they need to win.
Mitzel, he is on to kick from the 40. Hansen lets it go at the 2, goes into the end zone, touchback. Lynx defense back on the field. Lynx defense also, it just hasn't been all offense scoring, and we've seen Stroh from the corner position take that interception and capitalize on it, took it home for a touchdown.
Hey, you know what I think would be cool, Ken, is as they're kicking off, if they had a nice mascot dog that was on the sidelines that would run out and grab the tee and bring it back to them.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool. That might hit the budget a little bit, though.
Where'd you think of that from?
I don't know.
Where'd that come from?
One of those voices in my mind is talking again.
So you just thought about a dog going out and grabbing?
Well, I saw Mitzel having to run out there again for the second time.
Okay,
He plays a lot on offense, and he plays some on defense, and he kicks off, and then who knows? He probably plays quarterback sometimes.
Workmeister with the carry on that second down. He gains 2. So it's going to bring up a third down for the Rough Riders and 5 from the 25. As the Lynx, boy, it's been the ground game, right? And they needed to come out here and establish the line of scrimmage in both sides of the ball. They have done so. It's going to be Workmeister from his quarterback position. He's a sophomore. He's got number 18, Winter, right behind him. One receiver to his right and left. Play action. They go up top. No, it is incomplete. Almost intercepted by Gavin Johnson. The safety.
He saw it. He was a missile waiting to grab it, and I think when he reached out to make that interception, he might have got hit by his own player defending the receiver there to knock it away. So it's probably a good thing for Roosevelt, but. Looks like they're going to go back to punt here.
That would have probably been the second touchdown on the defensive side of the ball because there was nobody around.
Yeah, no.
Hansen on to kick. That is Maddox Mueller deep. Line drive kick. Mueller's going to take it at about the 40. He does go out of bounds right there. And Lynx coming out with their second possession on offense in this second quarter. It's all Lynx, 35-0 with 10:15 to go in the first half.
Yep, we got, like I said, right now everything's running on all cylinders. The defense is doing their job of not giving the Rough Riders anything to work with. So now we just put our offense out there and see if they can put some more points on the board.
As you're going to have Van Leeuwer, he's still in the ball game. He's going to be in the ball game. He is your starter at the quarterback position. They do give it to Ryder Mueller. He is stuffed in the backfield. It's going to be a loss, and quite a big loss there. It's going to be a loss of 4. It's going to bring up second down and 14 from the 36.
Yeah, they definitely got some. The Rough Riders got some good penetration there, and he ran right into it, and not much Mr. Mueller could do on that particular play.
As you can see, the Lynx offense taking their time. We're under 9:40 to go first half. 2 receivers to Van Leeuwen's right. That's going to be Mueller and Blomgren. They do give it to
There's some laundry on the field.
Ryder Mueller, and the second flag of this ball game is going to hit the turf at about the 36. I mean, we have to give the flag a little bit of time, right? I mean, airtime. It's down at the 36, right? Right. Yeah. I mean,
But holding on the Lynx.
Holding on the offense, number 58. That penalty's declined. Third down.
that penalty's decline. It was holding on the Lynx is going to bring up a 3rd down in 10. Interesting call there as the Rough Riders do decline it. They're saying, well, the Lynx only gained 4 yards. We'll take it, right?
Yeah, and it's 3rd down, so they don't get another down to replace that. So, because right now everything seems to be working for the Lynx, so you don't want to give them extra downs if you can help it.
Mueller Blomgren at the bottom of your screen, and that's going to be Van Leeuwen. Play action. He's going to go up top to Blomgren. It is just incomplete, in and out of his hands. Really good coverage by number 7 for the Rough Riders, and that's going to be Smith on the coverage. First punt of this one is going to come from Veld at about the 25, 26-yard line.
Yeah, that was a pretty good throw. He was just going to let his receiver make a play on the defender, and he had a good chance to catch that. He just couldn't reel it in.
Punt formation, number 7, Mason Veld.
A little bit of confusion for the Lynx punt team on the field. Punt's going to come about the 25, 26-yard line. Veld rolls right. He does punt it. Hansen's back deep. Takes a Lynx bounce. Actually, a Rough Rider bounce. Climbs on the 30-31 Rough Riders ball at about the 31.
He did kind of a rugby-style kick. I think for a bit there, he was going to wait to see what the defenders were going to do because he had some blockers on this end over here with only one defender. I think he kind of pondered taking off and going with it if that guy would have fallen back, but he did a good job of maintaining his lane there.
And we know Veld can run from the running back position. He's got 1 catch for a first down this evening already. Workmeister spread offense, 2 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. They do motion his slot receiver, and I believe it's going to be false start on the Rough Riders, their second penalty of this first half.
Yeah, that's kind of tough. It's tough enough when another defender, the defense that you're playing is working on all cylinders, but when you kind of take yourself back 5 yards without having to do much, that only helps the defense.
Workmeister first and 15 from the 26, 8:49 to go first half. Lynx 35-0. He motions his receiver from right to left. He does give it to his running back. That's going to be number 18, Winter, and he is dropped for maybe 1 yard. It's going to bring up a second, we'll call it 14. No, it's going to be no gain. It was 1 yard, so it's going to be 2nd and 14 from the 27. 3 receivers to Workmeister's right. He looks to the sideline. 1 receiver to his left. Pistol formation. Drops back. Workmeister finds his intended receiver, number 11, and he is met. And we'll get a number on that one from the corner position for the Lynx.
Number 9.
19, actually.
19, excuse me, yes.
For the Lynx, your corner.
Uriah Dixon.
Dixon with great coverage, and, hey, you're all alone out there. That's a great tackle. 3rd down and 12, right at the 29. Workmeister motions his receiver. That's going to be Hansen. That's the second time they've done that on the jet sweep, and he's going to be brought out of bounds with a gain of about 6. It's going to bring up a 4th down for the Rough Riders and about 6. Punting formation for Roosevelt.
Yep, it was Gage Mandery. Knocked him out of bounds, did a good job of getting over and cutting off the outside to force him to punt.
Mueller, that's going to be Ryder Mueller back deep, And they want him to stay about the 25, maybe go back a little bit more. You can see the coaching staff wanting him to get back about the 20, or about the 30, maybe about the 32. That's going to be Hansen. There's the punt. Mueller's there for the fair catch. Lynx offense back on the turf.
Yeah, that was a good job just to do a fair catch. Don't risk any getting hit as you're coming up on the ball. And now it's time for the Lynx to get their offense back on the field and see what we can do. Put some more points on the board before halftime here.
Maybe we see the tight end come into play a little bit here. And hey, you talked about film, Bob. You know, people, all teams are going to be looking at this film, right, as going into the second round, and give them a little bit to think about. That's going to be Mueller. That's Ryder Mueller with a gain of 5, maybe 6 yards. He's dropped it right at the 50. It's going to be 2nd and 4 from there.
What a great run. Just, again, following your guard, left guard, that hole, and he's getting to the second level and making the linebackers and the safeties tackle him. That's a good run.
2nd and 4 from the 50, under 7 minutes to go, first half. 5 touchdowns, 4 on offense for the Lynx, 1 from the defense. Mueller is going to gain about 2 as he crosses the 50, brings up 3rd and manageable. It's going to be a gain of 1, 3rd and 3 from the 49.
And I think you're 2-down territory here. You're too far to kick a field goal at this point in time, and so we basically got 2 plays to get about 4 yards.
As Van Leeuwen breaks the huddle for your Lynx, that's going to be your quarterback. He is a junior. Direct snap to Mueller. He's going to gain the first down and more as he crosses the 45 down to the 44. We're moving the chains. First down, Lynx.
Yeah, that was a good standard Lynx play. Direct snap to the running back. You've got that extra blocker in there with the quarterback, who's not a small fella in itself, and so tough to stop that, really, for when you've only need to get 3 yards or so.
Well, great blocking up front and from Veld, the fullback, right? I mean,
he's just plowing, just blasting that person who's filling the hole there.
Absolutely. As it looks like a new formation is 2 fullbacks to the left of Van Leeuwen. They give it to Mueller again. His 3rd consecutive carry on this one. He's going to gain about 7, maybe, well, what do you think, about 6?
About 6 yards, yep.
About 6 can bring up a second and 4 from the 36.
You know, I like the fact that they're rotating the running backs between Veskerna and Mueller, giving them some blows, not overworking one, and just giving the other one a carry or 2. This is going to keep them fresher deeper into the season.
2nd and 4 from the 38. I apologize. That's going to be Van Leeuwen, the junior quarterback. He gives it to Mueller again, his 4th carry. He gains a first down and more. He crosses the 30 down to the 32. That's where he's dropped. More importantly, moving those chains. Lynx keeping it on the ground.
I'm just overly impressed with the offensive line, Ken. They just have to have a chip on their shoulder after their game last week.
First and 10 from the 32. 4:15 to go, first half. 3 tight end set. Play action. They want to go up top. They do. And is it interference? It is in the end zone. Lynx will have the ball right at the 1. It was intended for Maddox Mueller. And we do have another flag.
Yeah, right in the middle of the field.
At the 31-ish. So my guess is it's going to nullify that pass interference because I believe it's going to be on the Lynx.
And in South Dakota, I'm not certain if that would have been on the 1 or a 15-yard penalty, but we shall see what goes.
That's number 56. Pass interference, defense. Those penalties offset. Replay first down.
We'll replay the first down from the 36. Or, excuse me, I said the 36, 27.
That was probably not a bad play by the Roosevelt defender down there, because if he doesn't basically tackle him and stop him, that's touchdown. But doesn't seem to matter when you got an illegal guy downfield.
And sometimes that happens as the linemen want to pick up somebody, right? Especially when you have a rolling quarterback designed. I formation, they give it to Mueller. He finds a seam, up the seam, down to about the 7. He's going to be dropped. Actually, they're going to give him 1 more yard. It's dropped down at the 6, moving the chains first and goal from the 6.
Just a great run. And again, right up the gut.
Following his lead blocker, it was Veld, and all he had to do is follow him, and he busted that one open. I formation again. That's going to be Van Loer. It's going to be his 3rd time under center. They give it to Mueller. Cuts it back. Does he find the end zone? He does not. He's going to be dropped down at about the 3. It's going to be 2nd and goal from there.
Again, that was a good play by the Roosevelt team to kind of cut the initial hole off and made him cut back, and then they got the tackle.
Actually 2nd and goal from the 3. We're at the 3-minute mark. Van Loer, direct snap to Mueller. They want Mueller to grab a touchdown on this one. He's going to be brought down at the 1. 3rd and goal from there.
Now, boys, let's just see. Let's just impose your will and push the ball across the goal line here.
As Van Loer is going to come from the sideline to the huddle. Lynx are in no hurry. Play clock is at 18. Under 2:30 to go. Van Loer with his tight end and fullback to his right. They give it to Mueller. He is not touched. Touchdown, Lynx. Maddox Mueller's first one of this one. Or excuse me, Ryder Mueller's first touchdown of this one. It's going to be 41-0 with 2:17 to go. First half. It's been all Lynx.
Yeah, that was just a good push down the field and, again, enforcing your will on the opponents. I did notice, though, that Hudson Parliament was not in on that last play. They had a number 57. I think it was Jackson. Jackson Boat, who was in at right guard right there that got that push. So no
extra point is no good. Attempted by Delaney now, as it is 41-0, 2:17 to go, first half. 11 AAA matchup in the quarterfinals here in Brandon, South Dakota.
So Ken, at halftime they're going to be doing some recognition of some state championship teams. I believe it's going to be the dance team and the boys cross country team that'll be recognized at halftime. So make sure you stay tuned and see the champions that are produced by the by the Brandon High School here.
And this is a championship community, right, Bob? As you've seen you see a lot of it in athletics and academics. Let's talk about academics in this town, as that's what they're known for, right? Is academics and really, really good sports, and all over a great school system. So hats off to the administrators, teachers, everybody that plays a huge part in developing these young adults into who they are today.
Tristan Delaney to do the kicking, so I think Mr. Mitzel's kicking days are done for today.
Delaney booms it down to about the 15, and that's going to be taken by number 15. I believe it's 15, right? Yep, number 15 for the Rough Riders. That's going to be Sioux Jr. Good return by him, as he's going to bring the ball up to the 42, 2:09 to go first half.
Yeah, you're going to start seeing some other players that jump into the game that are or not starters for the Lynx. And so as we hear some plays and so forth, we'll try to get their names out so that they get the recognition that they deserve for all the hard work they put in all year long as well.
Lynx defense back on the field, pitching a shutout so far in this one. It's going to be Workmeister, the quarterback for the Rough Riders. Motions Hansen. It's going to be an option. Workmeister's going to keep it. Good play by him. He goes down at the 50, again a gain of 8. Second down and 2 from there for the Rough Riders.
Yeah, that was a good tackle there, and to keep him to only an 8-yard gain, because he had some space there, and he did a good job of running him down from the backside.
As the Rough Riders look into the sideline, we are under 2 minutes to go. 1:35, Workmeister in the pistol formation. They give it to the running back. That's going to be number 18, Winter. He's going to grab the first down. And correct me if I'm wrong, that's the first down for the Rough Riders this evening.
I believe it may. It was Chase Hartman. He started the game, but typically he's not a starter. Usually we've got a different defensive back, but he started the game for the Lynx, but he's a sophomore. Nice play. He made some great plays last week against Jefferson in his first starting role.
Workmeister gives it to Winter again. He's going to gain about 5. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 5 from the 37.
Hartman on the tackle again. So he's pretty active from his safety position. Back for the Lynx.
Both teams have all 3 timeouts. Looks like the Rough Riders are not going to take a timeout. It's under 40 seconds to go, first half. Workmeister looking to the sideline. He's in the pistol again. He's given it to Winter 2 consecutive carries. Now he goes up top. He does find his receiver. It's going to be incomplete as the defensive back, the corner for the Lynx, and we'll get a number here.
Number 20, Aiden Sturgeon. Did a nice job of staying with the receiver and kind of disrupting the pass.
Sturgeon from the corner position was right there. They wanted a slant pattern. It falls incomplete. 3rd and 5, 26 seconds to go. First half from the 38. Workmeister, 2 receivers to his left at the bottom of your screen, 1 to his right at the top. O'Brien, the tight end, play action. They do go to O'Brien at about the 41. He crosses the 40. He is brought down for a gain of about none.
Uriah Dixon on the tackle. He did a good job of getting him out of bounds and bringing up 4th down.
We have our first timeout of this first half. Brings up a 4th down. They do say that O'Brien did gain a yard on that reception, so it's 4th and 4 from the 37. 15 seconds to go, first half.
So I didn't see, Ken, who took that timeout, but it's interesting to see if Brandon's thinking that maybe they're going to set up something and go for it, being down 41-0. See if they can put a points on their beings that they are on this half of the on the Lynx half of the field here.
Yeah, Rough Riders take their first time out. They're going to bring their offense back onto the field. Lynx trying to hold. It is 4th and 4 from the 37 as the Rough Riders come from the sideline directly to the line of scrimmage. Lynx defense is ready. Lynx pitching a shutout. You can see on the bottom of your screen it is 41-0. It's still in the second quarter. 15 seconds to go to halftime. It's going to be Workmeister. He's got Winter with him. He drops back. Heavy pressure. He is dropped at the 49. It's going to be a sack. Actually, they're going to mark it at the 47.
Will Bunker on the sack.
Defensively, Coach Christensen and his staff dial up the blitz, and it's a perfect time for that. They knew that they were going to throw the ball. And
maybe trying to get a pass interference deep down the field and make it a little easier for a score, but good defensive play call.
I think they're going to go into halftime. I think the Lynx are pretty comfortable right now with this score, 41-0. That's going to be Van Loer And he goes to a knee, and that's going to do it for the first half of this 11 AAA matchup in the quarterfinals. In Brandon, it is Lynx, your Lynx, 41, the Roosevelt Rough Riders, 0.
Yep, that was a pretty solid effort for the Lynx. They just basically, whatever they were doing, it just seems to be working, and Roosevelt did not have an answer in the first half. Now, I know the Roosevelt has a good coaching staff over there, and they're going to go in and make some adjustments to try to slow down the Lynx in the second half. And the Lynx are going to do the same thing and see what they can dial up in the second half to continue what they're doing. The one thing that's a little different is now starting the second half, there is going to be a running clock until they get under 35 points, I believe, is the magic threshold. So that couldn't start until the halftime.
Right.
So that's going to be to the detriment of the Rough Riders.
Well, and one thing I want to take away from last week to tonight, right? It wasn't, the Lynx lost. We talked about that, and that's already gone, right? But what you can tell this evening, Bob, is that the penalties, okay, the Lynx had a host of penalties, even in the first half. I don't even know how many there was, but it was a lot, right? And tonight it's a very, very limited in penalties, and that's a big deal because mentally you're back into it, right? When there's a lot of penalties, which is uncharacteristic of this team, which we seen last week, right? Now, when you move into the new season, the playoffs, the tournament, whatever you want to call it, right? You move into that season, how are you performing, right? And discipline-wise. If you have a very disciplined team, you don't have a lot of penalties. And so far, the Lynx have only had 2 in the first half.
Yeah, compared to probably 10 or 12 during the last game.
Easily.
But looking out on the fans, or looking out on the fields, folks, you have the state championship team from the Brandon Valley boys cross country that are getting recognized, and you can hear Bob Logan doing his thing.
Ethan Kite, Sam Mitski, Riley McEwen, Marcus Smith.
Now entering the field was your state championship dance team from Brandon Valley High School. Had a tremendous season and ended up winning the state championship, and they're going to be recognized at this time. Yeah, the team that's getting recognized. This is their 5th consecutive state dance championship.
All right, buddy.
And let's take care of our sponsors that without them, we would certainly not be here. Our All-American sponsors are Alliance Communications, Aspen Ridge, Coca-Cola Bottling Chesterman Company, Midco Communications, Sanford Health, and Sioux Valley Energy. Our MVP sponsors are Sanford Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Sanford Health in Brandon, Rogers Plumbing and Heating, and First Dakota National Bank. And our champion sponsors are Alliance Communications, American Family Insurance Josh Koob Agency, Arrowhead Automotive, Axiom Construction Group, Brandon Ace Hardware, Brandon Lumber Company, Burren Gruning Heating and Air Conditioning, Heartland Funeral Home, Horizon Pet Care, Quickstar, Northwest Tire, Sioux Falls Specialty Hospitals, Sunshine Food Stores, and today's Family Dentistry. Thank you to all of our sponsors who have been with us all year long and will continue to be with us through all of our winter sports as well, because without you guys, we wouldn't certainly be here. And fans, if you're out there watching, go into these organizations and thank them for what they're doing to help bring these games to you on Lynx TV and Alliance Cable 226.
Yeah, and like Bob said, the sponsors are what it's all about, right? And thank you, sponsors, and thank you to the Brandon community and everybody that's part of Lynx TV, the students that run the cameras, to everybody that's really, really a part of this. It's special to be able to bring this to you every week. And we know in the basketball season, volleyball also, we know that in soccer also, right? And so We know a lot of you tune in to on Lynx TV YouTube. And I can even look at it right now. I think at one point we were almost at 700 viewers. At one time this year, I think we had over 2,000. So, thank you. And we don't get the numbers that are on Alliance Channel 226, but we want to thank you also for tuning in. And that's right. You can see on your scoreboard on this 11 AAA matchup in the quarterfinals in South Dakota, your Lynx right now 41-0 over the Roosevelt Rough Riders from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And we talk about the Metro, right, Bob? It's the Metro Conference, and it's 11 AAA, and you got all these things, right, that play in a part. But I remember back a few years ago, and Coach Garrow and his staff, and this is dialing back a little ways, when there was a time when the Lynx were in 11 AA, right, in the ESD. That's what it was, and it still is, the ESD, but AA, and the AAA, the Metro Conference, the AAA was just forming, right? They decided that they're going to have this thing, right, in the state of South Dakota. And the Lynx, under Coach Garrow and multiple coaches and years have been champions in football. And they decide that they're going to go into the AAA, right? And boy, have they been dominant at this level also.
Yeah, they've been doing a great job of putting very competitive teams out onto either the court, the field, the mat, the dance floor. They've just done a great job of elevating all the things that they were doing at the AA level, at the AAA level.
And hats off, and Bob, sometimes we don't talk about, we haven't mentioned all year. I want to thank whoever's out there, right, and that you may be watching tonight, and it's your child, your grandchild, whoever it is, family member that's out on this field this evening, right? And hats off to you, because the Lynx, they you can see them on the field, but it takes whatever it is at home, right? The dedication.
The parents dropping them off at the
Right,
early morning practices,
right,
late after school practices, all that effort that it takes to go from where you're at to raise your game to the next level.
And whoever you are out there, hats off to you too. You really play an integral part. As you can see, the Lynx are coming back on the field on your screen there. We're fortunate to have a screen now up here, and we have that in basketball every year, Bob, and that's great too. We'll be bringing you the boys basketball as we boil into that, what they call the winter season, right? But hats off to you, because these young men that are out there this evening, there's a reason that they're out there, right? It's the dedication that they put in, right? And it's a lot of dedication, right? But it's also dedication from parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, whoever you may be, right? It's all that dedication that's put into that. And then what happens is that they become these young, some of them, young adults, some young men form a team, right? And you can see that big team out there of red, a sea of red on that turf this evening. And to be able to consistently be a top-tier team in the top echelon. Let's be honest. 11 AAA, the big schools, right? In South Dakota, you got to have great coaching too, and that goes apart with forming a great team and consistently being great at everything you do, right? And hats off to the coaches' families, because I know from being a coach and in my life is the time that they put in too, right? They put in a ton of time, that a lot of people don't see. And the ones that see it are the ones that are sitting at home waiting for their spouse or whoever it may be to come back home, right?
Yeah.
So hats off to all of you too. It's really, really the dedication that everybody puts in, and I wanted to point that out as we were talking about the sponsors, right? Their dedication. There's so many things that go into making this happen, and we're glad we're able to bring it to you on Lynx TV this evening.
All right, just to kind of follow up on some scores that are going around the playoffs tonight. As we told you earlier, Sioux Falls Lincoln up over Rapid City Central 60-21. Over to McEnany Field in Sioux Falls O'Gorman. At halftime, it's Harrisburg 10, O'Gorman 0. And the second game at Howard Wood Field, Sioux Falls Jefferson is ahead of Sioux Falls Washington 7-0. So that game is just getting going. It's still got about half of the first quarter left, and we'll wait to see what we get for updates. But I got to agree with Ken's part. It just takes the effort to raise your game to the next level, whether it is on the field or it's up in the announcer's booth. If you don't put in the work, you don't get a good product out of it. So we're happy that we can bring this to you each and every game. Hopefully, if this game continues to go the way it is, there will be another game for the Lynx. And if there is another game, it's going to be right here, and it is going to be next Friday night if Brandon is able to finish this game and beat Sioux Falls Roosevelt. So keep that on your calendar. The next playoff games will be next Friday night. Following that, the winners of those games will go on to the Dome, and which you'll see, the two best teams in AAA go at it for a state championship. But I just want to personally thank Ken and the school for allowing me to be one small part of this journey along the whole season.
It takes all of us, doesn't it, Bob? And we're glad you're with us, and we're, like we talked about, we're glad we're able to bring this to you live. I think I have a family. It's not my family, but a friend of mine. Their family's from Brandon here. I think they're on like a cruise or something, and I think they're watching it. I think. You guys want to message me and tell me that that you're watching this, but wherever you are on the ocean, hey, it's 41-0, and you're
you
Lynx.
need to quit watching and go have some fun on the cruise if that's the case, Ken.
Hey, it's about dedication, right?
It is.
It's about community and dedication, no matter where you're at. So your Lynx up 41-0 in the first half, as it was. What kicked off the offense was Blomgren from about 42 yards out on the end around with that touchdown from his receiver position. Veskerna handed it to him on the end around, and it was a touchdown. Then it was a lot of Veskerna from the running back position. It was 3 touchdowns, and it was a lot of what was in front of him, right? The offensive line. They were able to produce huge holes for their running back and running backs as your I should say the 1-2 punch right in the backfield as Ryder Mueller, number 3. He was a recipient of 3 touchdowns, but we also had a defensive touchdown, and that came in the middle of all of that. Right,
yeah.
As the Lynx were sitting back in the zone, as Stroh from the corner position said, "All right, I'm gonna join this party, and I'm gonna go find the end zone too," and that's why we're at 41-0 right now.
And I think the Lynx get the ball to start the second half. So don't forget that there will be a running clock here at least to start the second half. Because the score is 41-0 at this point, and we'll see. We expect a lot of players to see the field here as long as the score remains what it is. So we'll try to get those names called out for some of those that we don't typically call throughout the course of a game, and get them the recognition that they've worked so hard to achieve.
So the Lynx deferred on. They won the toss in the
okay.
beginning, so it's going to be Delaney on to kick.
I was wrong.
No, hey. We're never wrong, right, Bob? We just. I don't know what you want to call it.
I was wrong.
Okay, whatever. I have a hard time saying people are wrong. So at the 15, it's going to be Hansen, and he's going to take it. And it looks like the ball is on the turf. It's going to be recovered, though, by the Rough Riders, and they're going to start with the first possession on offense for them right at the 30-yard line.
So now we'll see what we've got with this group of defenders out there that are working every bit as hard to make plays like the starters did.
That's going to be Workmeister. He's still your quarterback for the Rough Riders. Winter right behind him. He has a host of carries, and he carries that one. No, it's going to be a pitch, and it's going to go to number 11 for the Rough Riders. Gains big chunk of yards, crosses the 45 to the 47, and that's going to be a first down for the Rough Riders as Popham with the carry from the wide receiver position on that beautiful play by Workmeister, as it was a kind of a read option. Not really, though. It was a fake to Winter from the running back position, and he pitches it to his wide receiver from that jet motion. And that's going to be Workmeister. Gives it to Winter. He is met and stuffed right there. And a gain of about one. They may call it two. It's going to bring up a second down.
Chris Katsea on the tackle. He's a sophomore, 5'11 sophomore.
2-yard gain for the Rough Riders. That is Workmeister. He's number 9. He's a sophomore for the Rough Riders. He's got Winter right behind him, number 18. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Lynx are in a 3-3-5 defense. And there's a blitz. It's going to be Winter with the carry. He's going to cross the 50 down to the 49, crosses midfield, brings up the big third down for the Rough Riders in this third quarter. 3rd and 6.
Katsea on the tackle again, so he's pretty busy getting right into the game, doing some good things.
3 receivers to Workmeister's left at the top of your screen. You can see it. A beautiful color, right, and picture from our Lynx TV staff. It's going to be Workmeister. Goes up top. Errant throw is his intended receiver is going to be Dahan, I apologize. Tucker Dahan, number 3. It's going to bring up a 4th down from the 49, 4th and 6.
Yeah, I think the offense is going to stay right on the field and see if they can get something working here. Right now, when you're down by 41 with the running clock, what do you got to lose at this point?
As Workmeister's looking to the sideline, it's going to be a timeout, the first timeout, I believe, for the Rough Riders of this second half. As they had a late player, looked like O'Brien was coming to the field, a little confusion, and we got our first timeout.
You know, that's probably not a bad call for the Rough Riders to say, okay, let's get everybody on the same page so that we can run a play and see if we can pick up those 7 yards to get a first down and continue on as the clock is running.
I agree.
But not during the timeout.
No, not during the timeout, but you could see. So you talked about, we're going to be calling new players and stuff like that in the second half, but hey, the aggressiveness that this defense is playing with is tremendous. It doesn't matter who's on the field right now. Workmeister, 4th and 6 from the 49, under 9 minutes. We're 8:50 to go, third quarter, opening drive of this one for the Rough Riders. 3 receivers. It's actually going to be a tight end. They're going to try to play the same thing. It's going to be Workmeister. He keeps it. Same exact play that they gained a big yardage from their tight end / wide receiver coming to the right. This time, Workmeister keeps it and moves the chains for the Rough Riders, crossing the 40 down to the 38.
That was a very well executed quarterback keeper. He's a very athletic quarterback for them. Could be a good weapon if they use him well enough.
Workmeister. Option, and he is brought down, and it is going to be a loss of 4.
He is going to have to come out of the game because his helmet came off. He's going to have to come out for one play.
I think Hansen's going to come onto the field. He may be the backup quarterback for the Rough Riders, as probably 3, maybe 4 defenders were not fooled at all from the Lynx defense. It's going to be number 8 for the Rough Riders. That's going to be Fisher, as he's looking to the left. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Blitz from the Lynx defense, and Fisher keeps it. It's going to bring up a third down in 14 with a gain of 1 there.
Well, he really wanted to pitch that ball, but there was a Brandon defender right between him and the receiver that he wanted to pitch to, and had to pull it back in and just take what he could get.
Well, let's talk about defense in preparation for this game, right? The Lynx coaching staff, they know that they're going to run some option, but to work on that during the week, that's great preparation because you don't see a lot of option in high school football. That is incomplete from Fisher. Fisher's first intended pass hits the turf, and it looks like the Rough Riders are going to bring their punt team out, I believe, with it being 4th down and 14 from the 42.
Well, they're certainly bringing some players out. I don't know if they knew exactly what they were going to do there because they stopped all of a sudden, looked like they were totally confused.
So let's see if we have punting formation. I do not see a punter dropping deep. Now I do. It's going to be Hansen. He's the punter for the Rough Riders. Halseth is back at the 10 for the Lynx. Driven back. Halseth's going to let it go, and it's great coverage by the Rough Riders. And the Lynx offense is going to start their first possession of this second half at about the 3. Halseth's going to be your new quarterback, number 18 for the Lynx.
His last extended playing time, he ended up going 9 for 10 for 90 yards in his first extended playing time on varsity.
Jake Halseth, the sophomore. He's number 18. He's going to lead the Lynx offense here in the second half, under 5:20 to go. Not great field position for him, as Christian is directly behind him, number 34, the running back. They direct snap it to Christian. He's got a hole. He breaks it open across the 10 to the 13. And I believe we are moving the chains. They're going to mark it at the 15. First down, Lynx.
That was just a great power run. Kind of knew where he needed to get for the first down and really worked hard to get there.
Running clock because of what the scoreboard says. Lynx up by 41. So we do have a running clock here in the second half. 1st and 10 from the 15. That's going to be Halseth along with Christian. He just had the carry for about 10 yards there for the Lynx. They give it to him again. He is stopped in the backfield. It's going to be no gain. It's going to be a loss of 1. 2nd and down and 11 from the 14.
Yep, this is just some very valuable playing time for the folks that don't necessarily get a ton on varsity. And so it's good because you just never know when you're going to need to call on these players to come into the game and play when the action is hot and heavy.
Under 4 minutes to go, third quarter, 2nd and 10. So they're going to say it wasn't a loss of 1. It's going to be 2nd 10 from the 15-ish. Christian, his third consecutive carry, breaks a tackle, fights for some yards, gain of about 1. 3rd down and 9 from the 16.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do on a play call here, because you don't necessarily need to try to run up the score, but you want all these players to be working towards every goal is getting a first down. So even though you don't want to throw up some Hail Marys and such things, but we do want to run some plays that will get them in that mode of it's always best to get that first down.
Halseth. Shotgun formation. He's got 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. He rolls right, completes the pass. Or were they going to call it forward progress?
It's going to be close. It's right at the marker.
They are moving the chains. First down, Lynx.
Yeah, that was just a good, fairly safe play, and a good rollout by the quarterback and a good pass and reception.
So that was a catch by number 88, I believe. No. We'll get a number on that in just a moment here.
It was maybe 89. That I did not see, Ken. Sorry.
First down and 10, 26-yard line. That's going to be Christian with the carry. Gain of about 2, maybe 3 yards.
You know, they got a good stable of running backs. It just seems like whoever they put in manages to get positive yards each and every play.
We're under 2 minutes to go, third quarter. Lynx are driving. Second down and 7 from the 29. Two receivers to Halseth's right. He's going to put it in the air. He completes a pass to, I believe, number 84.
80.
Was it 80?
80, number 80.
Pass completed to number 80, Cooper Irie.
Cooper Irie.
From Halseth.
That was a good throw.
Irie with the reception brings up a third down and 2 from the 34. We're almost at a minute to go, third quarter. So big third down for your Lynx offense. They want to keep the momentum rolling here. As Halseth, he's got his fullback right to his left, directly in front of him, with Christian right behind him in the pistol. They do give it to Christian, breaks a tackle. Does he gain the first down and move the pile? He does, I think.
It's going to be tight.
Forward progress. We're going to see where they mark it. He's going to be.
They're sending the chains.
Grabs that first down, and we are moving the chains for your Lynx offense. Hard running there by Christian.
It is, and I don't know if they're going to. Nope, I think they're going to let the quarter run out, talk about it, and come back out for the fourth quarter.
So the Lynx, there was no score in that third quarter from each team. We're still at 41-0 as we go into the fourth quarter of this 11 AAA matchup in the quarterfinals in the state of South Dakota, right here in Brandon, South Dakota. We'll give you some scores in just a moment.
All right, looking at some scores in AAA. Out at Howard Wood Field, Sioux Falls Jefferson is up over Sioux Falls Washington 14-0. We've got Harrisburg up over O'Gorman still into the third quarter. It is still 10-0 Harrisburg. And we've already told you about the Sioux Falls Lincoln over Central 60-26. And you know our score right here heading into the fourth quarter. It's 41-0 Brandon Valley over Roosevelt. In AA scores, we've got Pierre up over T 21-0. Yankton is up over Spearfish 6-0 into the third quarter. Huron is up over Brookings 7-0, and they're also in the second quarter. And Sturgis Brown is ahead of Watertown 14-7. And in single A, we've got Lynx over Tri-Valley 28-14. West Central over Madison 6-0. Sioux Falls Christian up over Rapid City Christian 24-0. And Del Rapids and Millbank are tied at 7 apiece with about 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. So there we have it for quarter scores for the playoffs here in the state of South Dakota. Now let's hit the fourth quarter and see what the Lynx can do in this fourth quarter.
as Halseth comes out in this fourth quarter as 1st and 10 for the Lynx. Christian again with the carry. It's going to be no gain on that 1st and 10.
Yeah, the Rough Riders did a good job of stringing that play out and making him run laterally versus up and down the field for no gain.
Let's talk about, Bob, we talk about the skill positions, right? All the time. Let's talk about that offensive line and defensive line for the Lynx. Let's give them some recognition here as we're going on 2nd down and 10 from the 36. Play action. It's caught by Delaney. And pretty good gain by him.
It's like about a gain of about 6. So it should bring up about 3rd and 4.
So as we look at the offensive line, and you start from the left tackle position, right? And it's going to be Bryce Bangasser. He's number 58. He's a senior.
And committed to MSU Moorhead.
Yeah, and the left guard is a senior also, Cal Weiss. He's number 68.
And I think this is probably his 2nd year starting for them.
Isaac Mitzel. Isaac and family. He's number 62. He's also your kicker. He's your center. At right guard is a junior. Am I correct on that?
What's that? Excuse me. Right guard is Hudson Parliament.
Yeah, he's
actually
a senior.
And
he's
going
senior.
and he's committed to the University of Iowa.
And then your right tackle is going to be number 56, Parker Coughlin.
Now, he kind of switched sides of the ball. Last year, he was a mainstay in the defensive line, and he switched over, and now he's a mainstay as a right tackle.
And then you go to the tight end position, and you look at the tight end position, Bob, and as number 80, we're seeing a lot of the 2 tight end sets for the Lynx. It's going to be Cooper Irie. And also you have number 8, that's Austin Dowd, along with your fullback Veld.
Yep.
Okay, so that offense, it takes everybody, right, to establish the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And we call about, and I didn't mention the running backs and quarterback and wide receivers, and that was for a reason. We mention them a lot, right?
We do. They're the ones that get all their names in the papers and that kind of thing, but the folks that make them or allow them to, I shouldn't say make, allow them to get into the newspapers is your lines, your offensive and defensive line. So it looks like the Lynx turned the ball over on downs, and Roosevelt takes over 1st and 10.
And there's a pitch by Workmeister. He goes to his Jackson, the tight end-ish wide receiver, Popham. And it's going to be a gain of 9, 2nd down and 1 for the Rough Riders.
Trey Skipstead Kruger was on the tackle.
You want to go over the defensive line?
Yeah, we can.
And really, let's maybe the full starters for the defense. They don't get a lot of time.
So on the defensive line, they play a 3-3-5, and we've got Cohen Hartz and Makai Zocker play the defensive ends, and the nose tackle is number 67, Tone Ledbetter. There are 3 linebackers. You've got number 1, Dylan Williams, number 0, Miles Fokin, and number 28, Will Bunkers, kind of man the middle right behind the line. And then your defensive secondary, we've got Chase Leary, Gavin Johnson, Brighton Stroh, Gage Mandery, and Chase Hartman is the starters for this Lynx defense, and they've just done a tremendous job all year long. One of the players that typically would start but is not in the game tonight is Nolan Pudwell, and he does pretty much a lot of things for this Lynx team. Not only does he roam the backfield and knock down passes, but he typically runs kickoffs back, he runs punts back, he plays an occasional receiver. But all of a sudden, we're looking down and we're down inside the 5, Ken.
Yeah, as the Lynx take a timeout because they wanted to make sure Bob got all the defensive players called.
Yeah, that was very nice of them.
Yeah, that's what they did.
I got to send the coach
Yeah.
a thank you.
yeah, thanks.
Allows my slow talking to get there.
Hey, so right down 7:48 in the fourth quarter, Coach Christensen, you took a timeout so I could go over the Lynx defensive starters.
But the defense is trying to preserve a shutout, and the Roosevelt is right down there.
Workmeister
inside the 5.
First and goal from the 4. He gives it to the end around. That's going to be number 3. He's going to be stopped.
Touchdown.
No, it's going to be a touchdown as he did dive. That's number 3 for
Tucker DeHaan.
DeHaan for the first score for the Roosevelt Rough Riders in this quarterfinal matchup in the opening round of the South Dakota playoffs.
You know, they kind of just went right down the field and did what they wanted to on offense. And you got to, as much as I wanted a shutout there, kid, I like the fact that they're still putting forth the effort to try to get some points on the board in this game.
That kick is up. It's good. 41-7. 7:39 to go. And the 11 AAA matchup in the quarterfinals in South Dakota. It's been all Lynx. Majority of this ball game. Lynx defense has been tremendous all game, and we've seen a score there, right? And that's not saying what the Lynx defense has done all game, right? It's been tremendous, right? And so Lynx really have played a really good ball game. From all facets. You've seen the special teams, and sometimes we don't talk about the special teams, right? But they play a huge part in field position, right? And they can change a ball game in a heartbeat with field position. We've seen that from the return game a lot this evening.
Yep, and don't be surprised if you see maybe a squib kick or a pooch kick here to try to catch the Lynx off guard with the score. But after we get the change of possession here, we'll give it one last shout out to our sponsors for the game.
And there's the kick. Fielded at about the 16. We'll get a number on the player that returned it. That's Halseth, your quarterback and your returner this evening.
And he does punting as well, Ken.
Boy.
On occasion, so.
Halseth is going to stay in the huddle after that return. At quarterback, 7:13, actually 7:10 to go as we have a running clock. 41-7. Roosevelt Rough Riders just scored their first touchdown of this one at about the 38 mark in the fourth
we'll go with
quarter. Yeah, pretty close. I don't know if it took 10 seconds, but yeah. I formation behind Halseth. He's under center, gives it to Christian. Breaks a tackle, goes across the 30. He's going to be brought down about the 32, maybe 31.
It's like about a 7-yard gain, 8-yard gain.
Second down and 2.
That's just good hard running between
absolutely.
the tackles for Christian.
Bob, you talked about that we're going to go over the Lynx TV sponsors. This may be a great time to do that.
Yes, it's the Lynx All-American sponsors are Alliance Communication, Aspen Ridge, Coca-Cola Bottling and Chesterman Company, Midco Communications, Sanford Health, and Sioux Valley Energy. Our MVP sponsors are First Dakota National Bank, Rogers Plumbing and Heating, Sanford Health and Brandon, and Sanford Health and Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. And our Lynx champion sponsors are Alliance Communications, American Family Insurance, Josh Koob Agency, Arrowhead Automotive, Axiom Construction Group, Brandon Ace Hardware, Brandon Lumber Company, Buren and Grunig Heating and Air Conditioning, Heartland Funeral Home, Horizon Pet Care, Quick Star, Northwest Tire, Sioux Falls Specialty Hospitals, Sunshine Food Stores, and today's Family Dentistry. Thank you to all of our sponsors.
Thank you, sponsors. Halseth gives it to Christian on that 3rd down and 2. He's going to maybe lose a yard there, as it was a high snap. Great athletic play by Halseth to go grab that one. And it looks like Halseth's going to be back to punt for your Lynx with 5:05 to go in this one.
Yep, the clock is running pretty quick, and it looks like they're going to play more of the position game and see if we can get a good punt out of this.
Halseth back to punt. Crosses the 50 on that punt, down to the 45. Takes a Rough Rider bounce. Put a little English on that, right? Is that what they call that?
Absolutely, you did.
Sometimes you don't want to do that as a punter, right? You want it to keep on dribbling down the other way. It's going to be Roosevelt ball, 4:25 to go in this one. They, on their last series, they did score as the Lynx defense coming back to the field. Rough Riders ball at the 46. That's going to be Workmeister. Your quarterback all game long for the Rough Riders. There's a pass. Goes to Ricardo.
Yeah, Ricardo has been one of their primary receivers all season long, and he's done a nice job. Tonight he's been a little bit of a non-factor just because of how well the defense has played and the pressure that they've been getting on the quarterback. They just haven't given him time to get the ball down the field to him.
1st down and 10 from the 42. They give it to their running back. I believe it's number 34. Who's on the tackle there, Bob? You got your fancy binoculars there.
Number 14, Trey Skibstead Kruger. I believe that's at least his 3rd tackle tonight since he's been into action. He's very active and crashing down from the second tier position.
No gain there for the Rough Riders. 2nd down and 10 from the 42. We hit the 2:59 mark in this one. Workmeister, pistol formation. Gives it to his running back again. He's going to be dropped right at the 40. Going to be a gain of 2.
Number 92 on the tackle is Coyer Leopold.
3rd down and 8 for the Rough Riders.
Yep, we're a little under 2.5 minutes to play. And they're taking their time. They just want to make sure that they're running a good play and everybody's on the same page for Roosevelt.
Option. Workmeister pitches it to I believe, number 88, Hansen. And it's going to be a gain of about 16. And that's going to be a 1st down for the Rough Riders.
Number 47, Gunnar Deffenbaugh on the tackle.
That carry good enough for a 1st down. Ball spotted at the 24-yard line of Brandon Valley.
1st and 10 from the 24. That's Workmeister looking to the sideline. He's got Winter that just gained that 1st down directly behind him. They give it to him. Workmeister cuts back, has an opening. He finds the end zone for the 2nd score of the ball game for the Rough Riders.
You know, that was a very good run, kind of weaving his way into the end zone there. And we just missed some tackles there. We had some opportunity, but he's a pretty shifty runner there on that particular run. He definitely earned it.
Kicking the extra point, number 42, Carter
Meckelberg on to kick the extra point for the Rough Riders. They scored on their 2nd possession, and that one is good.
You know, the last time or earlier in the season when the two schools played, basically the same thing happened. Brandon got up big, over the first 3 quarters, and then in the late third quarter and early into the fourth quarter, they scored 2 late touchdowns to, I believe the score was 55-13. But a very similar thing happened in this game that did the last.
Lynx came out and they established the line of scrimmage, right, Bob? They did. Defensively, offensively, and that's going to win you football games. It just is. You win the line of scrimmage, you're going to win. And we've seen that in this opening round of the playoffs for your Lynx. They are the 1 seed. Next week, they will be right back on this turf, and we'll tell you when that's going to be. As the Rough Riders are going to come out, kicking formation. Delaney, back deep for the Lynx. There's the kick. Delaney's going to take it. He doesn't go into the end zone, so he's going to return it. Big return by him. He crosses the 30, 40, brought down at the 45.
That was a heck of a return. The special teams gave him a nice lane to run in and made a nice gain to get down with just under a minute to go. Now, they do not have the scores or the times for next week, but we do know it's going to be next Friday night.
Next Friday evening, right back in Brandon here, right on this turf. Yeah, I believe I'll let Bob talk about who the opponent could be. As Hulseth is going to go under center, he's going to kneel it. And the Lynx are going to be able to run this clock out. Your Lynx, it came out and they put their, if you want to call it their paw print, right? The Lynx, they put their paw print on the quarterfinals, right? And they said, all right, the quarterfinals are gone. Now we're moving to the semifinals, and that started when the clock started this evening. And it's really, 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 really great to see what the Lynx did this evening, coming from last week to this week. And we talk about a disciplined team. You've seen that all over the turf this evening.
Yeah, we certainly did. And you were talking about it. Next Friday night, these Lynx are going to take on the winner of Harrisburg versus O'Gorman. And right now, Harrisburg is still up on O'Gorman 10-3 with just the start of the fourth quarter.
Your Lynx victorious this evening, 41-14, an 11 AAA matchup in the quarterfinals this evening on a Thursday evening, as the Lynx are going to advance. Next Friday will be a home playoff game in the semifinals for your Lynx. For Bob Arnold, I'm Ken McEwen. We'll see you next week. Have a great weekend.
Good night, everyone.